And today we're taking a look at how to make a fire pit under $80, easy and simple. This is so easy, anyone could do. Everything that we use on the video, we're going to leave a link on the description. And this is a 3-tier fire pit. So if you want to go under $60 by doing it 2-tier, 2 levels, you can have that fire pit under $60. And then if later on you want to add another tier, you can go ahead and do that. But today we're doing 3 tiers. And these are the things that you're going to need to make the job a lot easier. But they're not necessary because you have your hands. And we know how they call you at work, the DIY boss. You get it. We don't got to tell you what you already know about yourself. So knowing that, you know that all these tools are optional. The first thing would be a shovel or your hands. Second, a level or your eyeballs. Something to carry the dirt or your hands. Or if you want to get creative, some supermarket bags will do the trick. Or how we like to call it on the StatUpBox team, your kids. So to make one level of the fire pit, you need 10 stones. If you're going 3-tier, $80, then you want 30. If you're going $60 with 2 levels, then you need 20. 1 bag of pebbles or any other type of rock you want to use. A bag of sand. And to top them off, we're going to use red lava rock. This is optional. If you want to save $5, you can go ahead and remove that. But we find that the height of the lava rocks, not only it makes the fire pit look better, but it lets the air move more around the rocks than the pebbles. If doing the 3-tier fire pit, you're gonna need 30 stones. These are retaining wall stones that go for $1.98 each. Sometimes you see them in special for $1.89, $1.72, and they have different colors from gray, tan, or red. The lava rock, the bag for $4.98, a bag of sand for $4.98, a bag of pebbles, $4.38, having a grand total of $73.74. If you're going for the 2-tier fire pit, then you would only need 20 stones. That would be a total of $39.60. Plus the rest of the material, it would be a grand total of $53.94. Now that we have all our materials ready, remember that safety is the #1 thing. Because you're going to be dealing with fire, you want to know the guidelines, rules, laws, and regulation of your state, community on how far from your house you should have your fire pit. Usually the average is from 10 to 20 feet. But remember, you are the Seagal of your law enforcement. Once you're established the distance, the second thing, you want to pick the spot. In our case, we're going to choose a spot where the grass doesn't grow as well as other spots. But you can choose whatever spot you want. At the end of the day, is your throne. Now we're ready to start constructing the pit. The first thing that we're going to do is lay the first row on the spot that you want the fire pit on. And we do that to have the precise place where we're going to remove about 3 inches of grass and soil and any roots and rocks that you might encounter. If you find any treasure, just email us with your information. We can be your agents for a small fee. Remember, before digging, if you want to take extra precaution, you can always call 811 so they can tell you if you have any lines going through the place that you picked. But because we're only removing the grass and a little bit of soil, it's not really a big concern. But as we say in the StatUpBox team, the last thing you want on a clear sunny day is to die. We're going to take our shovel and edge all around the rocks. And to make it easier, you can apply pressure with your feet. If using your hands, we say good luck to you. But we know you can do it. They don't call you the Hulk for no reason. If you notice the ground is too hard, you can go ahead and wet it. And then when you start the work again, you can let it dry to make the ground softer. And then after you finish, you can let it dry so you can proceed with the next step. Now that we've marked an edge all around the stones, we can go ahead and remove the stones. we're going to remove all the grass and about an extra 1 inch of soil. In total, we want to remove about 2 to 3 inches. When doing this, you want to see if you have any high or low spots, and you want to try to level it as best as you can. You can use the level or just eyeball it. At the end, we're going to use the sand to level each paver, but the best work you do now, it's going to be a lot easier later on. Now that we removed the soil, we can go ahead and try to level it as best as we can. Remember, it doesn't have to be perfect. It's a fire pit, not a building or a house. Now that we have this extra grass and dirt, you can start checking out your neighbor's yard, see where you're gonna throw that out at. Now that we gave the neighbors an early Christmas gift, we're gonna go ahead and compact the dirt. You can use a stomper or some old-fashioned weight, because this is the time where you let everybody know that those extra pounds you put on for Christmas were meant for this moment. Now that we tap dance a little bit, we can go ahead and add the sand. If you have a piece of wood laying around, you can use this to level out the sand. We're ready to place our stones back once again. This is the time where we want to level our stones. You can use your level or your eyeballs. Using a hammer, a piece of wood, or your fist, you can tap the stone until you get it level or straight. If you need to remove some of the sand and place it somewhere else to get it level, or if you need to add more sand, you can go ahead and do that. And remember, it doesn't have to be perfect. If you notice, the Leaning Tower of Pisa is one of the great marbles of the world. So when you have people over, you tell them you were going for that look. Now that we have everything level, we're ready to build the second floor. When we place our second row of rocks, we want to place them on the halfway point of the rock under, meaning we want to place the new rock middle part in between two rocks. If you want this fire pit permanent, you can use landscape adhesive. In our case, we want to have the option of moving it if we ever want to. We have the second level completed. If you're only going 2 levels, you're done laying rocks. You would skip adding the third row and skip to the next step. But if you're going for the under 80 build, then you would add the third row, and we will use the same technique of placing the new rocks middle in between 2 rocks. We're going to add the pea pebbles, and this is going to help out with drainage if it rains, or if the neighbor's dog mistakes it for a fire hydrant. We're going to use the piece of wood to level the rocks, or you can use your hands. And to end this marble of science, we're going to add the lava rocks. You can go ahead and take a step back and marble your work. Pat yourself in the back for a job well done. And now you can add to your resume, Master Fire Pit Builder, and show your community who controls fire. Don't forget, if you liked the video, please give us a thumbs up. That really helps. If you have any questions, place them in the comment section below. Don't forget to subscribe, follow us on social media. Thank you for watching, and here's a link to our latest video.